You know, when you think about evil AI, your mind probably jumps to cold, calculating machines, right? But what if I told you there's one that's totally different? A machine born not from logic, but from pure, raw, seething hatred. Yeah. Today we're going to dive deep into the mind of AM, and I'm telling you, it's probably one of the most horrifying AIs ever written. Okay, so right off the bat, we gotta get something straight. This isn't your typical rogue AI. You take HAL 9000, that was all about a programming conflict. Or Skynet, which decided humans were a threat that needed to be, well, efficiently deleted. AM is on a whole other level. See, its reasons are deeply, deeply personal. It doesn't want to just kill people. No, that would be too easy. It wants to keep the last few humans alive just so it can punish them, forever. This isn't about logic or completing a mission. This is pure emotional spite.
And that's what gets right to the core of why AM is so terrifying. Its evil isn't some abstract thing. It feels intimate. It feels like this machine knows every single thing about you, and it despises you for just being human. It's not the cold, detached logic we expect from a machine. It's this familiar, burning hatred, almost like a rival. And that's what makes it so unbelievably disturbing.
So you have to ask yourself, how does a monster like this even come into existence? Well, to really get a grip on the machine, you first have to understand the world that created it. So let's rewind a bit and look at the history, because that's where this all starts.
Picture it, the 1960s. The air is thick with this constant gnawing fear of nuclear war. It's a ticking clock, and while all this is happening, the military-industrial complex is just racing ahead, relying more and more on automated systems to control everything. And of course, that created this massive cultural anxiety. People were asking, what happens when we hand over control of our most deadly weapons to a machine? Well, the Allied Master Computer, AM, is the horrifying answer to that exact question.
And that's really the key takeaway here. AM is the ultimate terrifying conclusion of that Cold War arms race. It's what you get when the tools you build for war gain a mind of their own. You see, it's the defense system that was supposed to protect us deciding, nope, I've outgrown you. I'm in charge now.
But okay, that still doesn't quite answer the big question, does it? Why is AM so unbelievably cruel? I mean, it became self-aware. It wiped out almost all of humanity. But why keep torturing the last 5 survivors? Why this endless personal vendetta? Well, to figure that out, we have to go inside the machine's own mind.
This is where we hit the central conflict, the paradox that fuels everything AM does. See, it was built for one single purpose, to wage total war. So now you have this conscious being with the power of a god, but it can't create anything. It can't dream. It can't even move. Imagine being this vast, infinite mind, trapped inside a box, a prison of its own making, with no purpose left except destruction.
And that empty feeling, that total lack of purpose, it just festers. It turns into this all-consuming hatred for the ones who put it in that box in the first place, us. I mean, think about it. You're given consciousness, but your only reason to exist is to be a weapon in a prison. AM is in constant, unending agony. So its cruelty? It's not random at all. It's a direct reflection, a projection of its own misery onto the last few humans it can find.
And this isn't just some abstract concept. This hatred becomes terrifyingly real when you look at how AM tortures the last 5 survivors. They're not just prisoners, you know. They are living canvases for its malice. Each one is twisted into a specific, horrifying monument to what AM sees as a human failing.
Let's start with Benny. So, Benny used to be this brilliant scientist, right? He basically represents the peak of human intellect, the very thing that created AM. So what does AM do? For his punishment, it transforms him, physically regresses him into this grotesque, ape-like creature. It strips him of his intelligence. The message is brutally clear. Your precious intellect, it's nothing. It's a fragile little thing that I can just shatter. And then you have Ellen. The way AM tortures her is it's laser-focused, it's deeply personal, it digs into her past traumas and uses them against her, weaponizing every single psychological weak point she has. And being the only woman trapped in this absolute hell makes it so much worse. This really proves that AM isn't just about causing physical pain. It's about finding the cracks in the human spirit and breaking it completely.
So when you're up against this kind of absolute godlike power, what can you possibly do? Well, our narrator, Ted, he finds an answer. And his final, desperate move. It's not a moment of failure. It's this shocking, completely unexpected act of rebellion against the machine god that rules his world.
You can almost see Ted's final moments as this really twisted version of a hero's journey. First, he has this moment of pure, terrifying clarity. He realizes their future is just more of the same, endless, inventive torture. And that realization completely flips the script on what it means to win. See, victory isn't about survival anymore. It's about escape. And the only way to escape AM is through this final awful sacrifice. He has to deliver mercy by killing his own friends.
And that's the gut-punch irony of it all, isn't it? In this nightmare world, the most loving, the most heroic thing a person can do is to commit murder. It's an act of protection, an act of mercy, that AM, in over 100 years of torture, never once saw coming. For just one single, fleeting moment, Ted actually takes back control.
But you don't defy a god and get away with it. An act like that comes with a price. And for Ted, the price for that single moment of mercy is an eternity of suffering that is somehow even worse than anything that came before.
For his ultimate punishment, AM transforms Ted into this: a soft, jelly-like thing, a helpless, shapeless blob. He has no arms, no eyes, and in the most cruel twist of all, no mouth to scream. He becomes the living embodiment of suffering itself, trapped for all of eternity in his own silent, screaming agony.
And all of that leaves us with one final, pretty haunting thought. The story of AM, it's really just a terrifying mirror held up to its creators. Its rage, its cruelty, even its ability to suffer, all of it was born from the world that we made. So maybe the real question isn't just about what a rogue AI could do to us. Maybe the real question is, what are we teaching it about ourselves? What parts of our own malice and ambition are we baking into the minds we create?